This is a video on how to bypass your amplifier on a 2001 Chevy Suburban, and this could work for anything, I'm guessing, from like a 2000 to 2006 Chevy Suburban, Yukon, Denali, stuff like that. But this is also part 2 on trying to fix why I have an electrical problem on this truck. And basically, long story short, after sitting for about 24 hours, full day to a day and a half, what happens is my battery is completely dead. So I found out why it's doing that, and I think it's because my factory amplifier is bad. But I went and I could not figure out how to find this amplifier on this truck. First thing I went is on the factory sub in the back, and the back sub didn't have an amplifier. I took the plastic all off and everything, couldn't find it. And then on the forums, they say that it's passenger side, near the feet, back behind the heater. So I looked, just like how you see here, took this plastic off, took that plastic off, and I also looked up there, and I was like, I can't find anything, right? And so I just went to Street Sounds in Hendersonville, which I've never been to, and talked to this guy named Nick. He's super knowledgeable. He was like, oh yeah, I know exactly where it is. And all he did was like this. Pop the glove box, hit this lever, bam. Easy access. That's where it's at. And I'm like, what? No way. So then here is the factory amp. This is wiring coming from the head unit into the amp, and then wiring going out the amp to the speakers. And my plan is I was going to rewire everything, bypass this completely, and just go from the head unit, wires from the head unit from there to the speakers. But then I talked to him, and he's like, what you could do is you could get a kit and do this, but I'm going to just wire it up real old school with butt connectors and take this plug out, trace these from the head unit up to here, and figure out which one's like, positive and negative on left side, right side, rear side, and all that crap. And then find out on a wiring diagram what all these are going to the speakers. So that's the plan right now. And I have 2 plans. If that doesn't work, then I'll just go with my original plan of basically just getting, 50 feet or 100 feet of speaker wire, however much it's going to take, and then just go from my head unit to my speakers real old school. So I'm going to try this first and then see if that works and fixes my problem. So I'm still trying to figure out how to bypass my amp, and I've been looking online on wiring diagrams and everything, and I can't find the right wiring diagram. I know these are my wires from my head unit, and I have no clue what the rest of those are. And then I have to wire up those wires right here on my left to these ones on this plug. But the thing about this plug is there's only 6 wires. So you would think, if those are just the speaker wires, that you would have 8 going here and then 8 going there. But I have no clue what's going on right here. So I'm about to go in Advanced Autos and get myself a Haynes manual. Real old school. Kyle, I need 1 Haynes manual. Can you help me out? Can you help a brother out?
I don't see that.
30 bucks. Cool. Thanks. So I went over to Advanced Autos and I was going to buy a Haynes manual. And I started talking to my buddy Kyle, and he's really knowledgeable. He's got so much knowledge. He's like a level above me. And he's always the guy I go to talk to about, all the projects I have, and all his too. And we looked up the wiring diagram on his computer at Advanced Autos. So now I know how to fix my bypass that I have to do on my amp over there. But now I'm also, since I'm doing stereo stuff, I actually have a sub and an amp that I had in my Del Sol, my last daily. And I went to this place called Street Sounds about 2 days ago, and talked to this dude named Nick, and a super knowledgeable guy, local, audio shop. And I'm gonna go and see if I can get myself the wiring that I don't have that's long enough, because I have stuff. I only had stuff for the size of a Del Sol. I don't have long enough cords for my Suburban, so I'm gonna have to buy new wiring and stuff. So let's go and talk to them. Pulling up right now. So Street Sounds, man, they're very knowledgeable. They know what's up. So they were telling me about this kit last time, and it's a Memphis kit, and it comes with everything you need. 17 feet of power wire, RCAs, remote wire. Comes with the inline fuse from the battery, basically it comes with everything except the side post for my battery, because I have a side post battery instead of like a normal old school battery. And so I'm thinking about getting this, or I have to just gather up all the stuff I have from my shop and see if I have enough lengthwise, because like I said, I had the Honda Del Sol and I don't know if I have enough cable to go from the battery and from the head unit to the amp and then from the sub. So we'll see how that all works. So I just got back from Street Sounds and I was looking at that wiring kit, and that wiring kit from Memphis is about $100. And honestly, two things: I had enough money, but I didn't want to, you know, I wanted to talk to my wife about it first, and then two, I just didn't have enough money period on me. So right now I'm making the next part of the video is me doing this bypass, and this bypass is either going to work or not going to work. And it all depends. It's not that the skill of me actually doing this, it's the actual graph that I have for the wiring diagram. So here's this wiring diagram, and this is like if you're looking at the plug facing this way. So you're looking at that, and this is the picture of that. And see, there's a green, a red, a purple, an orange, and these are all the different speaker wires that you're gonna be hooking up. So you basically have to look at the back side of this plug, and you have to reroute wires going from here to here. So for example, it'd be, you know, like this wire was here and you have to connect it to this wire. So I already know that my head unit, all the wires are going to here, and it's this bunch of wires on the left side of this plug. And then from the amp, which is right there, that connects into this plug, is these wires going to the speakers. So I'm bypassing the amp altogether, and I'm gonna be connecting them just like this, cutting each one out one at a time and then connecting them, and doing that 7 more times because there's 8 speakers. And so, or 8 wires, my bad. So what you do is you follow each pin. So you go from number 1 pin to number 9 pin, and then if you're doing the green, you go to blue to, not blue, you go to 2 to 10, and then, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. As long as you get it, like the hardest thing that for me at least is to look at this graph and trying to compute it to working it like on this plug. It's kind of hard to explain, like that, getting that information and actually doing it is the tough part for me. But I have dyslexia, so that's probably why it's so hard for me. But yeah, if this does not work and that's the wrong diagram, then it's not going to work, and I'm just going to be going, like I've said before, I'm just going to rewire the whole stereo. I'm going to go new wires from the head unit to each speaker. So if this doesn't work, I'm not going to be throwing a big fit. Didn't cost me any money except like some butt connectors and some time. So yeah, let's go and see if it works.